Hi, today let's take a look at Mars in retrograde. Mars is again one of those completely misunderstood and erroneously blamed planets. And unfortunately, traditional astrologers have to take responsibility for spreading this kind of completely negative information about Mars. Of course, Mars is a planet of energy and passion and drive and ambition. And yes, when any of these factors go over a certain limit, it can cause strife and conflict. And that is why erroneously Mars has been called the planet of strife, of conflict, of warfare. And truly that is not true. Mars, in fact, is the planet of energy. It's the planet of inner strength, inner force, inner passion, inner courage. Like anything else in this world, if you use that energy, if you use that force, that power in a manner that is detrimental to you, to others around you, if you turn that energy into tyranny, if you turn that inner passion into rage or anger, then surely you cannot blame a planet for it. We are responsible for how we use that energy and that passion and that inner strength. So what happens when Mars goes retrograde? Well, a whole array of different things can take place. First of all, I'm going to reiterate again, retrograde does not mean disaster. Retrograde is an invitation to turn inwards, to introspect, to take care of self, to understand self better. And this is what Mars does as well. When Mars goes retrograde, it creates situations on the outside which you might describe as conflict situations or situations that create strife. But these situations, whether it's a fight that you have with someone, or whether there is global warfare, or whether there is a civil rebellion, all of these situations on the outside ask you to turn inwards. How do you use your inner strength? In fact, do you use your inner strength, or are you weak and submissive? Are you passive? Are you timid? Then Mars asks you to do something to activate that inner strength, to activate that inner power, and to assert who you are. If you are a bully or a tyrant, or you tend to dominate people, then by the events that take place on the outside, Mars asks you to introspect about that. Why do you resort to bullying others? Why are you using tyranny? In fact, is that tyranny a cover-up for inner fears and inner insecurities? How can you use your inner power in a state of balance? So all of these questions are so important. Sometimes Mars is blamed for a person who is ruthless and cruel. Once again, this is not Mars' responsibility. It is the responsibility of the person. If you are using your inner power which you could have a considerable amount of, in order to be ruthless and cruel and aggressive, then Mars, in fact, shall draw your attention to this when it is in retrograde, because it is hoping that you will turn inwards and address these issues. When we resort to tyranny or cruelty or aggression, it is always a cover-up for some inner pain. And Mars is asking us to look at that inner pain, to find the strength to address that inner pain. Very often a person who is aggressive is turning pain into rage, is turning pain into cruelty. Whether it is the pain of rejection, whether it is the pain of frustration, whether it is the pain of lovelessness, whatever might be this pain, Mars asks you to address your inner pain, address your inner insecurities, your inadequacies, and to find your authentic power. So in fact, Mars in retrograde is an excellent period in my opinion. It urges you to take action in order to touch your authentic inner power. If you are timid, if you are submissive, if you are a people pleaser, if you are a yes man, you cannot stand up for yourself. You are not expressing who you are and what you need. Once again, Mars in retrograde will create situations that will force you to stand up for yourself, that will push you to your very limit till you assert who you are. So you see, Mars in retrograde is truly a period of empowerment. Understand that neither passivity nor aggression is a sign of empowerment. A tyrant, a bully, a person who is cruel and ruthless is as imbalanced as the person who is timid and meek. Yes, naturally, we tend to judge the tyrant far more than we would tend to judge the timid person. That is natural. But the level of imbalance remains the same. And this imbalance is what Mars is drawing our attention to. It is asking us to acknowledge that we have not touched our inner power, that we have not recognized our divine core. And because of this ignorance, because of the ignorance of who we authentically are, we become aggressive, we become mean, we become nasty, and then we tend to speak to people in a harsh manner. Or, on the other hand, we tend to keep quiet and allow people to walk all over us. So you see, Mars is an extremely useful planet. Don't allow what traditional astrology tells us about Mars being harsh and Mars being a planet of strife put you off. In fact, redirect your focus to the fact that Mars is a planet of empowerment. When you redirect your focus to this, you will use the retrograde periods to look within, to touch your inner power, and you will realize that come what may, whatever situation you face in life, you have the strength, the power, the courage to rise over all difficulties. You will be able to use that power to pursue your goals with passion, to be ambitious in a healthy, balanced way, in a manner that helps you to attain your desires, but takes people along with you so that they can also attain their desires. I hope you've been able to see now that Mars in retrograde is truly a period where you can benefit. Don't fear it. Mars is your friend. Yes, it may use a whip from time to time, but sometimes a little kick in the butt is exactly what you and I need. Big hug. Stay strong. Stay empowered. All my love.